The Oilers were at home again for their second game with another tremendous crowd turning out to watch them battle the Boston Patriots. It was a matchup of two great old pros, George Blanda and Babe Parilli. The Oilers strike with sudden fury the first time they get the ball. George Blanda sends up a long one aimed for Charlie Frazier. Charlie makes a great catch and streaks away to a 60-yard touchdown. Houston takes a 7-0 lead over Boston. The field is wet and slick, but it doesn't slow down Babe Parilli and the Patriots. Parilli passes to Jim Coleclaw for a big gain. On the last play of the first quarter, Parilli leaves the pocket and suddenly wishes he hadn't. Linebacker Johnny Baker cuts down the Boston quarterback with a violent tackle to halt the drive. Gino Cappelletti opens the second quarter by salvaging 3 points for Boston on a field goal, and the Houston lead is cut to 7-3. Boston launches another offensive. Ron Burton angles over the right side and picks up 5 yards before Fred Glick can stop him. In spite of the weather, Parilli is not afraid to put the ball in the air. He passes to Tony Romeo, and it's goal to go Boston. Houston tries mightily to turn aside the attack, but Jim Nantz forces his way across the goal line for a touchdown. Suddenly, the Houston lead has disappeared and Boston is in charge 10-7. George Blanda, playing his 16th season as a pro, sparks a Houston comeback with a quick pass to Charlie Hennigan. Blanda, who likes to stay in that pocket, arches a toss to Willie Frazier. Frazier, the league's early season scoring leader, has it for a touchdown. The Oilers get back in front of Boston, and the score is still 14-10 at halftime. They call third down the pro down. That's when George Blanda looks for his veteran receiver, Charlie Hennigan. Hennigan comes through for a first down. The third quarter drive is at full momentum. Blanda comes back and aims for Hennigan again. Hennigan has it for 17 yards and another first down. The Patriots can't cope with Blanda's play calling and passing on this march. He whips the ball to Charlie Frazier, and it's so long, Charlie. Touchdown, Houston, for a 21-10 Oiler lead. Fourth quarter action finds Boston's Babe Parilli throwing a long one and making a connection, but not with his intended receiver. Jim Norton intercepts. Watch Norton try to break the world's record for the high jump on his way to an 18-yard return. Blanda is back to pass, and Willie Frazier is trying to get loose. Willie finds just enough room, and Blanda hits him on a beautiful play that picks up 31 yards. The field is a mass of mud, but Houston is on the move. Blanda connects with Charlie Frazier. Frazier fumbles, and that's the end of the drive as Boston recovers. Let's watch that play again on our isolated camera as it follows Frazier. He's in the clear to make the catch, but the slippery ball gets away from him. It's a tough break for Houston. But the Oiler defense comes to the rescue as Eddie Wilson comes in at quarterback for Boston. W.K. Hicks comes up with a great interception and scrambles through the Bostonians for a 31-yard return to put Houston back on the attack. The Oiler offense goes the rest of the way in one big bite. Ode Burrell circles the right side, cuts inside Sonny Bishop's block, and heads down the sideline. He changes direction, and Willie Frazier takes out the only man who has a chance at him. Burrell gallops 63 yards for one of the longest touchdown runs in Oiler history. It's Houston 28, Boston 10. Don Truhl comes in to spell Blanda at quarterback and takes up right where George left off. Truhl pegs a pass to Charlie Frazier for a 23-yard gain. Blanda closes out a grand and glorious afternoon by kicking a cross-country field goal from the 45. Houston makes it 2 in a row with a convincing 31-10 victory over Boston. At this point, the Oilers look like real contenders for the Eastern title.